Are you ready?
Bam, bam. Yeah, I forgot that part.
Do 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 do.
That was bad.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast. That might be the first time in years I've gotten it twice in a row.
Oh my gosh, we're so hyped right now. This is going to be the highest energy episode we've ever done in our entire life. Why are we forcing this energy?
I'm so tired, dude. I have to force it because
It's been a long ass day for both of us.
on that like 5 hours of sleep and then a long work day.
David Luna asks, if you had to pick one guitar brand and all of its products, subsidiaries, and properties to be wiped from the face of the earth.
What's a subsidiary?
Subsidiaries. I can't talk. I'll try again. If David Luna asks, if you had to pick one guitar brand and all of its products, subsidiaries, and properties to be wiped from the face of the earth, which would it be and why is it Gibson?
I missed that part. Wait, I don't think I realized he said that at the end. He does clarify. Paul Crane said, "Does it also magically wipe out all the music made with it?" And David Luna said, "No, just today for it." So,
that was going to be my question. Is this in the past or is this like right now?
So basically, this is like all the governments of the world agree. The people who currently run this company can no longer, like, this company is closing, and the people who run this company cannot start like a new company that makes the same thing.
Or there is a magic
deal.
element, and it's a genie's wish. You know, like Gibson cannot exist any longer. No matter how hard people try, they can't overcome the magic of the wish. You know, like either scenario is fine with me. Not necessarily with Gibson, but let's think for a second. Mind explore this. What would be lost if we lost a Fender or a Gibson? Two iconic guitar brands. What would actually be lost? Because in theory, if those brands disappeared, there's all sorts of other brands that would pick up the torch and build those style of guitars. But you are losing the brand. You're losing that.
You're losing the brand and you're losing the subsidiaries. So no, hold on.
Okay. That gets interesting. But my point that I'm leading to is I think there are qualities in those two brands, in your Fender and your Gibson, that other companies are not able to reproduce or aren't trying to reproduce. Like I've said for a while, like Gibsons have a very unique neck feel. And I don't think I've ever picked up another brand of guitar that was trying to be a Gibson style build that had that neck feel. And you either love that neck feel or you don't. If you love it, then that's where you get that feel from, is from getting a Gibson product. I feel like if Gibson as a brand disappeared, you wouldn't be able to find that neck feel very easily for a long time. Until people figured out how to build that. Like there's some sort of like undescribable
you
thing to
don't think
that.
someone could just measure it and do it?
I'm sure they could. But the thing is that like a lot of modern guitar builders are building next to a modern style.
Right.
And Gibson is still building, I'm talking about like Gibson proper, not Epiphone, because Epiphones typically have very standard run-of-the-mill feeling necks to me. But there's something about a Gibson proper neck that feels very throwback-ish to me, to a style of build that's not being made anymore. And it's not so much the measurements, it's that certain I don't know what,
Right.
And I think with Fender, I think there's a ton of builders out there that can do really good Fender style builds. I kind of feel like Squier is not replaceable. Squier has.
So here's the deal.
Squier has the magic, I think.
As soon as you throw in subsidiaries, it gets kind of wild.
Right. Because with Fender, then you lose
Guild, you lose Sun, SWR. I don't know if Sun or SWR is currently in operation.
Right.
You
Charvel,
Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, Tacoma, which doesn't kind of doesn't exist. Squire, like you said. Ovation.
Oh, Fender owns Ovation now?
Oh no,
well, I know
KMC was sold off in 2015, so they did, but now they don't.
And some of these, like, they don't technically own them, but it's like a distribution network sort of thing. But like, it would interrupt them. We'll say that.
But yeah, Charvel is owned by Fender.
Yeah.
Bigsby, no more Bigsby tailpieces.
Do they own Jackson right now?
I believe they do own Jackson right now. Jackson, yep.
Yeah, and that's why they have that the Corona Ass series now. The American Soloist series, or the American Series Soloist?
American Standard Series?
No, it's not the American Standard. It's the American Soloist series.
I know they're all soloists.
Right, but if you spell it out, it's an ASS. Weirdest decision ever. So yeah, you're
a Jackson American Series Soloist,
the ASS.
Oh man, this guitar rips. It's total ass.
Well, Gibson owns Mesa Boogie now.
So this is where it kind of gets weird, because
you also
Gibson itself is a subsidiary.
Of what?
Gibson. Well, I shouldn't say they're a subsidiary. I guess you could make the same argument that that Fender's they're owned by like a private equity firm.
Okay.
Subsidiaries. There's the link I was looking for. Show Baldwin, Epiphone, Kramer, Mesa Boogie, Steinberger, Tobias. So you're not actually. I mean, obviously you're losing Gibson, you're losing Epiphone, you're losing Mesa Boogie.
Kramer.
Who cares about Kramer? I mean, as Charvel's been making a comeback.
What's going on over there, Jerry? What's going on over there, Kramer? We're making guitars, Jerry. We're dive bombing.
I think that's funny, and I've never even watched Seinfeld.
You've never watched Seinfeld?
I've watched like one episode. Is it worth watching?
We're that dynamic of like, we're 4 years apart or whatever, and we're different in generations.
Do I need to watch it?
No. It won't hit the same if you watch it now.
I know like our boy Brian Gower is doing a Seinfeld podcast. Do you listen to that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's called the Second Button Podcast.
I need to get in on that.
It's him and Andrew Walsh.
I started to
Andrew's Alcove.
I gotta get on that. I started to rewatch Seinfeld from the beginning, which I realized I had never seen because I was a child when it started, and I didn't pick up on Seinfeld until I was like mid-teens or something like that. So I missed like the first season, and I didn't realize how different the first season started out. Like they had not found their dynamic yet, so it was pretty interesting to watch. But there's some classic moments in Seinfeld. There's a lot of stuff that's just like, oh, what is this now? I don't know. But I'm on Team Seinfeld. I'm very far away from Team Friends.
All right, so I wasn't on Team Friends either, for what it's worth.
I think you were just too young.
I had a lot of friends who watched Friends. I just was more of a Law and Order guy.
Do you have a lot of signs that watched Feld? Well, Law and Order's fun too. We're a Law and Order SVU.
I also legitimately, I was
family over here.
I was that guy who, during
we're not on topic,
especially during baseball season, I would just if nobody was watching, basically after Jeopardy was over, I would just put it on ESPN and let SportsCenter run for 3 straight hours.
We didn't have that in my family.
No one else watched it. It was just I would have it on.
It wouldn't have been permitted in.
Oh my gosh.
My dad watched sports from time to time, but we were never a sports family, So,
okay, Gibson.
Let's get outside of Gibson and Fender.
And Fender, those are easy targets. After that, I don't know. What would you get rid of? What would you say this brand? Honestly, well,
the whole reason to get rid of a Gibson or a Fender is just to see what would happen. I don't actually want either brand to disappear, obviously. But I'm trying to think, are there any brands that I would feel personally relieved if they disappear? It's oh, thank goodness they're gone.
All right, I'm gonna throw a potentially. Here's my hot take.
I'm waiting for the burn.
Electro Harmonix.
That is a hot take. Why? What's your reasoning?
I don't know. I just feel like that's the right answer.
On one side, like, we don't need any more muff variations, and every other builder in the world already has a muff variation. Like, but sometimes Electro Harmonix comes out with some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, let's stamp out another one of these things that we've made dozens of.
And I think that's why, like, and, you know, I saw this thing the other day, you know, some of it's just because this is probably fresh in my mind.
Right.
I saw in a comment thread the other day, people are talking about boutique pedals and high-end pedals and whatever you want to call them. And someone basically said, like, well, why is it EH and X can still make a quality pedal?
and X?
EH and X. EHX can make a quality pedal for under... Oh, it's because EH and S, that's, environmental health and safety, can still make a quality pedal for under $100, but no one else can do it. That's how you know all of those other popular brands are ripping you off. And it's like, no, that's because, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, EHX does like almost no, they only do quality check and like maybe slapping it into the case.
And they can do numbers
in the United States.
They can do production numbers that very few pedal brands can.
As much as people talk about like, oh, this brand gets their PCBs from overseas, I think it's true that there are a lot of like American brands that get their PCBs overseas. But at least from my understanding, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, because I don't know. This is the information that I have. Maybe it's wrong. That like the JHS 3 series.
Right.
My understanding is, okay, maybe the PCBs are coming from overseas, but all of the assembly is happening in the US. Like those PCBs are going to a factory in the United States, or they're going to JHS, I don't know where, and they're being populated in the United States, and then they're going into the boxes in the United States. Whereas my understanding is EHX, EHX is just getting stuff slapped together, and then they put it into the case here.
I wouldn't say slapped, but it's being assembled in a factory.
And I'm not saying that's bad either. It's just, it's fresh in my mind because somebody brought it up.
It's also a poor argument to make because E and H and X. It sounds like a law firm. E and H and X has plenty of pedals that are over 100, over 200.
Oh, sure.
In the same price ranges as everyone else. But guess what? Boss also has, how much is an SD1? Are they still $30?
You know, I just...
Even if they're $50 now, like...
I think they might be more.
DS1s are like $40 or $50. $64 for
$169, no, $63.
Go up. What was that?
That's the 40th anniversary.
64 for that one. For
the black one.
You can get Boss pedals that are simple drives. Same as you can get simple drives from E and H and X for sub $100. But you get into the more complicated builds, the newer builds that took more, R&D and whatnot, and things get more expensive. They charge what they need to charge to have the profit margins that they need to have.
Okay, the current cheapest actual effect pedal from H&X, Jesus, is
you're not even doing intentionally.
Is the Electro Harmonix LPB one?
It's a one knob boost. It's $46.
After that is $73 for the Satisfaction Fuzz.
Yeah, which is kind of, I wasn't.
After that is the $76 2.5 watt guitar amplifier. They still make the Crayon. I did not know that. Hot tube. So they have a bunch of drives around the $80 mark.
Right. No, simple drives. Yeah, you can find all sorts of simple drives from E and H and X for sub $100.
Small Stone.
But you can also find a bunch of drives from other companies.
For sub $100 all of their Nano Series stuff is pretty much under $100.
But like you get into like their reverbs and delays and things like that, and that changes.
Oh, just kidding. The Electro Harmonix Nano Operation Overlord Allied Overdrive pedal is $101.
Oh my gosh.
Soul Food is $101. What's the most expensive one? It's the DMM, right?
I don't know.
No, good grief. It's
The looper.
It's the 95,000 performance loop. $630. The most conventional big quote marks is the Hog 2.
Yeah. That's pretty unconventional. I think, I mean, you look at the Memory Man for $444.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Electro Harmonix has a range, you know. I think it's a nonsense argument because you have to look at other brands. Like, people will be like, why does this boutique brand charge this when Electro Harmonix charges that? No, look at brands that are doing similar production numbers,
right,
like Boss. You know, that's who you're comparing.
I don't know.
Like
I said, that just came into my mind. I kind of just.
And we're still talking about who we would erase.
I feel like they're, to me, you know, much like the flyover states.
The podcast, like
Electro Harmonix is just mid.
The topic really doesn't matter as long as we just keep talking, right, guys? As long as we keep having something to talk about, like, it doesn't matter what we started talking about.
And I guess, like, if you eliminate that, you lose like vacuum tube production, and you lose the Sovtech amps, and I don't think you lose much else.
I'm trying to think of a guitar brand that I'd like to see disappear, and I can't think of anything. Like, I think I'm fine with them all.
Hard Luck Kings.
I don't care about enough.
It's inconsequential.
I don't care about enough to want them gone.
Part of me, like, the problem is they have some stuff that is legitimately, I think, cool.
Are you talking about Hard Luck Kings?
No.
Okay, good. I'm like, let's not talk about Hard Luck Kings.
Schecter, I think, is kind of an interesting company to dabble about. Their subsidiaries include Fox Gear, which I did not know that. Fox Gear pedals, Baroni Lab pedals.
Well, they used to have Daisy Rock, and I would have said no just to keep Daisy Rock around, but I know they don't own them anymore. You know, I can't.
Wild Audio and Guru pedals. I'm not familiar with those.
I think somewhere around like 2011, 2012, I think it was time to hang up the towel. And I think Schecter, I still admire their build quality. I think Schecter builds a really great guitar at their price point. But I haven't seen them advance out of that 2000s new metal vibe that they have.
Well, and that's the thing, is I think they actually do have some good guitars.
Oh, they absolutely do have some good guitars.
I think they have some models that I'm interested in. They're just not ones that maybe you see promoted. You know, they had that Aaron Marshall signature guitar.
They had that one that I really liked. It had like the Bixby and the Filtertrons in it stuff, and like the Firebird carve on the top. Heavy as sin. Those things were a brick.
Look at these electroacoustics they just came out with.
No.
Look, Rob Scallon's got a signature model. He's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah. I think
I kind of like these Nick Johnson's signature PT. That looks cool.
Look fine. No, I think I'm fine with Schecter disappearing.
Okay, Ryan. If you're gonna fall in love with an emo girl, how are you gonna do it without the MGK signature?
Right.
And if Schecter doesn't make it, who's going to? You can't fall in love with an emo girl without this guitar.
I'm gonna agree with the vote. Well, let me see this one real quick. Oops. How come it won't go back?
This website sucks. That's why.
Are those? Oh, I see what the I
Sun
was.
Valleys.
Okay, I was looking at the finish
Like
on
a
this.
splatter.
I'm gonna vote for Schecter. I'm gonna say make Schecter disappear, not because I don't like them, not because I don't respect them, not because I don't think people should play them. I just think it's time to hang it up. I think society has advanced past the need for Schecter guitars, and I would rather fondly remember them in a decade and be like, remember Schecter? That was a wild time. We were all young and in our 20s, and new metal was a thing, and blah, blah, blah. And be nostalgic for them to pave the way for there to be a market for a reissue or something like that. Then to have them continue to be what they have been and just be more and more like,
I mean, it's
That's
clear,
Schecter.
it's clearly not the case, right? But I think it would be interesting if Schecter fell on hard times. Obviously not from a job loss. I'm not saying
No, I don't see. I don't wish ill on any builder.
I kind of think it would be interesting if Schecter was like, we can't keep up our international stuff anymore. We're going back to USA production only, which is like what they were, which is like what they were in the 70s and 80s.
What if they went back to being parts?
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like they're
because
only
that's what they used to be.
They make high-end guitars with their parts or like replacement Fender parts.
They were like the original replacement parts company that was making like replacement bridges, necks, bodies, pick guards, and stuff like that. What if they went back to their roots? They say, hey, Schecter, no more guitars. You can't build any more of your own guitars. Go back to parts. We miss parts, Schecter. I don't know. It's too hard of a question, but it led us some interesting places to discuss. So there's that. Should we do an ad or should we, you want to do housekeeping or sponsor spot, Steve?
I'm trying to get this freaking website.
You have the floor.
Oh, hold on.
The floor is yours, Mr. Steve.
Gosh, am I back at church? Is this an Awana night?
I tell my kids, I call you Mr. Steve to my kids.
Yeah, no, I know.
Am I Mr. Ryan to your kids?
No.
Maybe
Maybe you should be.
Maybe I should be. I don't come over enough for your kids
I know.
to have an introduction for me.
What was I going to say? Are we done with this topic?
Yeah. We're done.
All right. In that case,
we didn't say anything.
We kind of, maybe there's a brand that you think should be zapped off the face of the earth, never to return again. But hopefully you don't think this show should be zapped off the face of the earth. And maybe you even like us enough to head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast and throw a little moolah our way, or for as little as $1 a month, you can help support the production of this program.
I'm going to wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night and just be like, I should have said Parker. I want Parker to disappear.
I feel like Parker's already, do they still exist?
Barely, probably.
Also, I wanted to say that this episode is brought to you by Bigger Pedals.
That's true. This is
the low AF.
That's what I was going to say, Steve.
This is a nice mid-lows fuzzy McFuzz.
I think it's a great pedal for your baritones and your basses and stuff like that.
This is a really great pedal for everything. You should get one. Biggerpedals.com.
Only one, Steve? Why not get two and run on a stereo? You should get.
Why doesn't Bigger Pedal make a stereo loaf? When are these brands going to join the 3% of guitar players playing in stereo in 2022?
I play in stereo in the garage a lot. I do not want to gig stereo.
This episode is also brought to you by Stringjoy. They make strings that bring you joy.
That's true. And you can order custom sets, which will make you custom joyful.
On the back of the box here, it says stringjoy.com.
Do you want to be joyful?
We also have a link below.
Do you want to be joyful in a way that no other guitarist can be joyful? Then get on their string builder on their website and order a set of bonkers strings, like alternating heavy and super light, heavy, super light, super light, super light, heavy again. Like go crazy, mix them up, have a lot of fun, be the happiest guitarist on the block with your Stringjoy strings.
Hey Ryan, you want to get sued by Nickelodeon?
Every single damn day of my life,
ready?
Steve. Yeah.
Stringjoy commercial, Ren and Stimpy spoof, where they sing happy, happy, string joy, happy. Yep. There we go. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yeah. Let's go, boys.
Should we open this letter?
No, let's do that during What's New. Let's do another ad.
All right.
This ad's sent by Michael Krause. It's called Wash Tub
Bass.
Is it called Wash Tub? Oh, it is called Wash Tub Bass.
Why does the neck on this look familiar to me? Is that like a common parts neck?
I mean,
or is that a common style headstock that I've seen somewhere?
That looks like an NS upright electric bass headstock, but I think that's just kind of a common style of upright bass headstock, especially like.
So what we have here is we have an upright bass that's built around an oval wash basin.
Yeah, it's
galvanized bucket thing.
Yeah, it is collapsible and built for traveling.
and it has a table leg as its little stand that goes down. I think that if I was going to have a stand-up bass in my house, this is the direction I would want to go, because people would, if people walked into my house and they saw a beautiful, fine mahogany carved top stand-up bass, they'd be like, "Oh, Ryan, we didn't know you were a man of such culture and class.
Oh my gosh.
Please, sir, will you entertain us with some sort of polyrhythmic, jazzy bass playing? Could you please, sir?" Or some sort of rockabilly riffing. And I'd have to be like, "I don't know how to play like that." But if you walk into my house, you see this propped up in the corner, you're like, "Ryan, that looks like fun. I believe you have fun playing it. I have no expectations for what sounds will come out of it." Like, the pressure is off. Like a full stand-up bass, there's pressure there. There's like, man, you're committed to that. What can you do with that? Prove to the world that you deserve to own this gigantic piece of musical furniture. Where with this, it's like, I can do whatever the hell I want. No one can judge me. I'll get crazy.
Yeah. This is for sale by Mark Paul Gosselaar, which is very confusing. This is $500.
Yeah. I feel like that's a fair price.
Renaissance fair price, maybe. Oh. Thanks.
Steve, that was a better joke than I expected out of you.
All right, dude. Let's do some what's new.
What do you think 500 is a fair price? Do you think that's
I know. If it's all built, it's just like,
if it
I
functions,
feel like 300 is a price where I'm interested.
here, if it works and it sounds all right at all, I think 500 is a totally fair price. If it doesn't sound good and it only kind of is comfortable to play compared to a regular stand-up bass, then yeah, maybe lower. But it looks like it's put together pretty clean.
Yeah, it looks clean. It's just like, I don't know. It's a little
all right.
goofy, man.
All right. Okay.
You ready to open that mail?
Yeah, let's open it up. Steve doesn't have anything interesting to say about the wash tub bass.
Just got jokes about fairs. Oh, I think county fair would have been funnier than.
This is well, it's definitely county fair. It's not state fair.
No, well, I said Ren Fair.
Right.
This is from Koyuki and Clint Cooper.
Yeah, from Tucson, Arizona. There is a sticker. I'll go grab the Cyclone.
I'm grabbing
Steve.
the Cyclone.
Got these stickers, snake stickers in here. Steve's bumping the table out of alignment. Hoy, Ryan and Steve, more stickers for the guitar. See you next show. Koyuki and Clint Cooper. 2 more stickers. Let's put them both on there. Guys, help us cover the Cyclone. I didn't know it was going to take this long. When I came up with this half of an idea, it's not even a full idea because I still don't know how I'm going to manage to give it away. But when we completely cover this guitar with stickers, as far as cover all the pink paint on it with stickers, we're going to give it away. This one's tricky because it's kind of clear, so it's not going to cover very much paint. I'm going to use it to cover this little corner right here.
Do you want to use both?
Yes. We'll use it to cover some little spots here. Whoever wins this thing is going to have to take most of these off because it's a really lumpy job of putting stickers on here. Maybe they'll keep a couple favorites. I don't know. Let's try to guess how many more like regular size stickers we need. Are you going to be able to get it in there, Steve? So let's look. We need 1 for there, 1 more for there, 1 for there. That's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7,
8,
9, 10, 11. I'm going to guess we need like 20 more stickers at least. So guys, raid your sticker supplies. Go check your kids' backpacks for stickers. See what they got. Send us the the government sends you a new sticker for your water heater. Send that to us.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, sometimes we get new stickers for the water heater, and they're huge.
Oh, weird.
You want to go hang that back up for me?
Look how beautiful this is.
Yeah, someone's going to win it. I don't know how or when or why, but I'm going to figure out some way to give it to someone.
So you watched Seinfeld. Did you ever watch Frasier?
Yeah, I watched Frasier.
The latest episode of This Is Rad is about Frasier.
I'm going to have to tune in for that. That's a great podcast, Steve, and a wonderful television program. I watched Frasier because I watched Cheers, because I watched shows that children normally weren't interested in. I was a kid that watched MASH.
Where everybody knows your name.
That's why I watched Frasier, because I was the type of kid that also watched MASH.
I feel like a lot of kids watched MASH. I knew of MASH, but I was busy watching Tour of Duty.
I watched.
I said duty.
MASH. I think I watched every episode of MASH.
Right.
All right, what are we doing now?
This is a part where I ask you what's new.
I don't think I got anything new.
Have you watched the new season of Cobra Kai yet?
I don't know if I'm going to. I was feeling burnout last season.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I binged it. I actually watched it like in 3 days, which is a binging for me. And it's definitely like so stupid. I feel like I'm watching a train wreck. But again,
but it started out stupid, but it was a smart, fun kind of stupid.
I still think it's fun, but again, listening to This Is Rad this week, the thing that I think it was Kyle on the show said about it was the creators of the show know that these people exist in a universe where there's basically like no rules.
Right.
And they are now all in. Like this season is the first time I feel like I've ever seen police actually do something.
Yeah, people are
actually
beating each other up, and you don't see the police show up?
The police actually didn't even show up until the very end of one of the episodes to like arrest people, and that's it.
This is a show about a kids karate classes where kids are getting legitimately hurt, and the parents are like, yeah, I think I'll keep my kid in karate class. Yeah. Oh, that kid in that karate class got paralyzed? Yeah, I'll keep paying dues. I gotta get him out of the house.
What? What? My kid got paralyzed doing karate? Apparently, that just means he needs to practice more so he can get better and defend himself.
And my kid is telling me that like his dojo has like a mortal rivalry with another dojo, and like it sounds like the people like who run these things are really messed up bad dudes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my kids in it.
My kid's leaving the house at 11 o'clock at night wearing like a full black hoodie and black pants to go raid a rival dojo. That's fine. As long as he's staying out of drugs.
None of it makes any damn sense. As a parent, none of it makes sense.
I guess I enjoyed the season, but like so many things, I wish they would end it. I wish they would find a way to end it. But if they're gonna keep,
they need to they need the Fast and the Furious it. They need to push it extra ridiculous. And it's like you find yourself in the 8th season and like, they're in space now? Like what's like, it's become so ridiculous. It's just completely divorced from the original concept,
Here's what needs to happen. Okay. I'm looking it up. Wait, did he die? He's not dead. Good. He can be in it. The next season somehow needs to bring in Hilary Swank and slowly, like over the next 2 seasons, merge the original Karate Kid universe. Because functionally, the next Karate Kid is just another Pat Morita vehicle. There's like no other Karate Kid things in it.
Right.
They need to somehow get Hilary Swank in there and merge the original Karate Kid trilogy, make the connection to the next Karate Kid.
Okay.
Just keep it going. Keep it, now you got more bad guys to bring in.
All right. I don't care.
This is
like I want them to destroy their own property here, and I want them to do like cross genre bending. Like I want Alien versus Predator versus Karate Kid. Like I want Karate Kid stuff to start showing up in other properties, you know?
Okay, well,
and I want things like I want Freddy Krueger to show up in Karate Kid and be like, we've got a karate fight. Classic slasher monsters of the 80s. You know, like where's Freddy and Jason at? Jason's gonna join Cobra Kai, and then Freddy's gonna join the other one, and and there's gonna be training montages to get them in their best fighting shape. And they're gonna learn valuable lessons along the way.
So one of the things is I feel
Can we stop talking about this?
No, we can't. I think they've opened up the door to make it just all martial arts now. Like,
sure.
There's like Korean martial arts in this, and I don't know if that actually, now they're just calling it the way of the fist. Are Korean martial arts also karate? Does this open the window to bring Jaden Smith?
I don't know.
Into Cobra Kai.
I don't know.
Jaden Smith. I want Jaden Smith teaming up with Daniel LaRusso.
No, like
Cobra Kai season 10. Jackie Chan, Daniel LaRusso.
I want characters from Karate Kid to show up. I want Ralph Macchio to show up in another action movie as the Karate Kid.
Like Expendables 5.
Right, exactly.
And it's got Ralph Macchio. I would watch that.
Yeah. But it's like he's playing Danielson, you know.
Yeah.
But he's like 54 years old.
Yeah, I want Chuck Norris to do the thing that he hasn't done since the 70s. I want him to be a bad guy in Cobra Kai.
That'd be fun.
He hasn't been a bad guy since, I think, was it Enter the Dragon?
I wonder what Chuck Norris looks like right now.
He's about 5'10", Caucasian, dark brown hair, medium brown hair. He's got a beard. He's wearing stretchy jeans. No, he's probably in his pajamas right now, actually. It's pretty late in Texas.
Where
he's walking.
Where has Chuck Norris been politically? Like,
I don't know.
It feels like he disappeared out of like the public eye like 2015. He hasn't been back. He hasn't checked in. And it's either because he's smart enough to know like what I have to say isn't going to go over well with a lot of people, or just no one is calling up Chuck Norris to find out what he has to say about anything that's been going on for the past 7 years.
His last film was Expendables 2.
But I'm not talking about films. I'm talking about like he's not popping up as like a talking head or like a media guy or anything like that.
He did write a book in 2008 called Black Belt Patriotism: How to Reawaken America.
And honestly, right now, when did that come out? 2008?
That 2008.
See, like he's either got an incredible amount of restraint or he just doesn't know how to connect to current media to say whatever is on his mind. Like I honestly know that he's like a fairly conservative guy, but I wonder, I don't know. I don't, at the risk of getting too political, I wonder if he has enough sense to not speak.
I mean, he has certainly spoken out a number of times in the past. He did support the 2021. This is the most recent thing. He did support the 2021 gubernatorial election to recall Gavin Newsom, and he endorsed radio talk show host Larry Elder to replace him. That's the most recent thing on Wikipedia.
Right.
In 2019, he signed an endorsement deal with Glock. In 2017, he endorsed former Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore.
I mean, we know where he lands on the issues, but what I'm saying is it's kind of amazing. We can assume where he lands on the issues.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that he hasn't been a talking head.
I mean, he's 82, so maybe he's just like
not interested.
Like if he's
there's
significantly motivated personally, he will get up and make a public statement saying, I endorse this person. But it seems like he's not really doing the rally things.
But it doesn't take a lot for someone to call into Fox or whatever.
Right.
If Chuck Norris wanted to call into Fox and ramble, they would let him. I don't know. And honestly, the way I'm feeling right now about it, even though I'm positive I disagree with Chuck Norris on a lot of things. Thank you, Chuck Norris, for not being what a lot of people have become.
For chucking and Norrising.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's fine to say. Thank you, Chuck Norris. Even though I probably disagree with you. Thank you for staying classy by staying out of it.
I don't think we have anything else to say here.
We just lost at least 15 subscribers.
No, I don't think that's true because the second episode I did with RJ only lost us 2 subscribers.
That might be true. When RJ came over here before you were here, as I was walking out the door, I was like, whatever you do, don't do a better job than me. Because then I'll feel bad. All right, this is the last one.
Epiphone Les Paul. No, this isn't the
second one. This is the middle one.
Epiphone Les Paul special. I got to make a note so I know what time to look at this for. Epiphone Les Paul special with hand-painted replica of Hendrix Fool.
Exact replica.
It's got a 3/8" mahogany plate mounted on the back with Gibson logo and Fool graphics like George Harrison's Rocky and Jimi Hendrix Flying V painted for their guitars. Gold hardware. Grover Tuner's real cool, baby.
It's not reproducing any of that art.
This just looks like crap.
It's reproducing that style of art, that era of hand-painted hippie aesthetic. Here's the thing, Steve. The originals that it's referencing, they looked like crap too.
That's true. That's true.
But, they're recognizable crap.
Yeah.
They're iconic crap because you recognize them. This is not worse than any of those.
Yeah.
In application or style. Honestly, I kind of like that little smiley little daisy there on the lower horn.
That's the only part of this art that I think is like, that's kind of neat.
I like the lips with the chain with the bells.
I don't
know what it means, but I like it.
The Alpha Stars logo between the pickups.
Is that what that
I don't know.
There's little bits of this that I like and little bits of it that are just kind of sloppy.
There's a sperm by the tailpiece.
Is that a sperm? Oh, it is a sperm. I see it now. I don't dislike the color choices. I think they did a good job of capturing that era of hand done painting on a guitar.
Right.
Does it mean anything? No. Does it directly reproduce anything famous? No. When I first saw this ad, I was like, whatever, I don't care. But now that I look at it, if I knew someone personally that was playing in local gigging, local bands and stuff like that, and this was their guitar, I would connect it to them as part of their personality.
Sure.
And I'd be like, oh man, that's, Barry Jenkins' guitar.
Good old Barry Jenkins.
You never see Barry Jenkins without his guitar. That is Barry Jenkins' guitar.
Would you buy Barry Jenkins' guitar from him for $500?
I could never buy it from him. He needs it. If he's having trouble with money, I'm going to help him out.
I'm going to make him $500.
I'm going to give him $500 to help him keep this guitar out of the pawn shops. I'm just going to be a loan, but Barry's never going to repay me. And I kind of go into it knowing that, but like every couple of years, Barry gets in trouble and, we help him out, so he doesn't have to sell his guitar because it's his guitar.
Yeah, it's his
what is he
guitar.
going to do without his guitar? It's his only guitar.
Maybe he'll get a job.
This is a fictional character that I've grown very attached to.
Maybe it's time for Barry to grow up and get a real job.
You know what? He's retired, man. Sometimes the Social Security checks, they don't make it all the way to to rent day.
That's true. That's true.
This is all he has is this guitar, and he painted it in the 90s for some reason, in the style of painting it in the 60s, but he's had it around since. And
it's definitely old,
he's local flavor. We need to help preserve this local resource that we have of Barry Jenkins.
Like, are these pickups actually patinaed like that? They almost, like the bridge pickup almost like sanded.
No, that's real.
That's real. That's real.
That's real. And I appreciate that the pickups are nickel and the hardware is gold.
I noticed that.
It adds to the charm of it. I like that there's little swirls painted on the knobs.
That's fun. The swirls are fun.
I don't want this for me. I don't want it for anyone else.
You want it for Barry.
I want it for this personality of a person. The fact that it's being sold ruins the fantasy.
Right.
I want it to be like this guitar goes in the grave with, this local guitar player that's like a local hero, hometown hero.
You know what I want, Ryan?
What do you want, Steve?
I want to let these people out here know that this episode is brought to them by Chase Bliss Audio.
That's right, Steve.
They make pedals. Well, they don't make the Condor anymore.
But you know what? You know why I pulled that out?
Why did you pull this out?
Because
it's a wah. It's a chorus. Because every Chase Bliss pedal is a chorus.
Chase Bliss made an EQ pedal and somehow made it the most over-engineered, most interesting EQ pedal that's ever existed. And it can be so many other things other than just an EQ pedal. Just that accomplishment is enough to compel you to go follow them on all their social media, get on whatever email lists there are. Make sure you stay up on Chase Bliss. Find out what they're doing, when they're doing it, when it's available. If they make something that connects to you, think about buying it. I'm just saying, think about buying it, because when they make something, they make it over the top and they make it special in a way that other pedal manufacturers just don't.
If there's a certain effect that you like, this is my favorite effect, then the Chase Bliss version of that pedal is something you should really consider.
I have never seen this with any other brand where universally people in the industry behind the scenes, other pedal builders, other people in the industry, when they see say the prices of Chase Bliss pedals criticized, or the concepts of Chase Bliss pedals criticized by the general public, I see those people go like, oh, hell no, those people do not understand what miracles of design these pedals are. The industry goes to bat for Chase Bliss because they understand what goes into these things and how special they are. Think about that. Think about that. It's a very special company. And there's no other pedal company like Chase Bliss out there. So if you feel like treating yourself, treat yourself right. Get a Chase Bliss pedal.
This episode's also brought to you by Demonic Machines. Head on over to demonicmachines.com where you can check out pedals such as this HTR.
If you can see it on the blue background, it's camouflaged. Where'd it go? There it is. Where'd it go? There it is. This has a special message on it. This is a Klon style pedal. And it says, it's not like I can just go buy an authentic one for a reasonable price, Bill. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's cute. It's charming. It's got more options than a normal run-of-the-mill KLON style pedal, because it's a KLONE style pedal. So go check it out. I've got serial number 806. I wonder what serial number you'll get. Tell us in the comment section what serial number you got.
This last ad was sent by Greg.
Thanks, Greg. Have you ever played one of these?
I have. I played one at Guitar Trader.
Me too.
Maybe we played the same one.
Steve, did we play the same D. Armand rubber string bass?
Possible. This is a Guild D. Armand Ashbory Bass.
I bet we did.
Fretless electric bass with rubber strings, half the size, lightweight, and all the sound.
So much sound.
Great stage bass and even better conversation piece at the gig. It has a few cosmetic blems, all from good use. $450 comes with the original custom gig bag in good condition. A bunch of Wikipedia crap. Go read it. It's designed by Nigel Thornberry, not to be confused with Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries cartoon. The Ashbory uses silicone rubber strings and an acoustic piezo transducer pickup to create the instrument's tone. The lower string tension of the instrument means no truss rod is used in the Ashbory neck. Like electric basses and electric guitars, neither the bridge nor neck is adjustable. Manufacturer recommends that the silicone strings be dusted with talc powder to make them easier to play. A bunch of other things you need to know. These are cool.
But they are cool. But of all the concepts that could have resurfaced in guitar technology in the past couple of years, I never would have expected to see like the Kayla Hugh basses and all the other like ukulele basses that are using this technology, this string style and this string technology to make basses again, because this was such an oddball. There was nothing else like this when these came out. And when you saw them in a store, you had to pick them up and try them because it was so bizarre. And it's so interesting to me that they're back, not as this brand, not as this build style. They're like ukulele style now. But people are into it, and I've picked them up and I enjoy playing them. I honestly kind of wish I owned one of those like U-bass style ukulele basses.
They're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun.
I feel like they're a lot more functional than these were. To be honest, because they're like an all-in. Well, the Ashbory is like an all-in gimmick,
right?
The U-bass, it's like no, this is like you want a tiny bass to. Now I know there are bands out there that feature U-bass, like their bass player plays a U-bass.
Oh, totally.
But it's like, if I got a U-bass, I could just like put it up on a stand in my living room, and it would just be, the thing that I pull out to play around with while, sipping on a glass of Kirkland Bottled and Bond.
I think there's probably people who have much more better informed opinions on them than I do, but every time I've picked one up, I've had a ton of fun with those U-bass things. And like, these are no different. I just wanted to talk about the concept. Like, I don't know if this is a good deal or not. What do they want for it?
$450, I think.
$425. I have no idea if that's a good deal or not.
Yeah, I don't remember how much these were. I don't know how much they should be now. The strap buttons, interestingly enough, I don't think I ever. Though this one, I wonder if it has some kind of damage too, because the strings are like zip tied down.
I think the issue is that they pull out of the nut easily.
Yeah.
And so the person was just trying to hold them down into the nut. The Armand.
It also looks like the neck has a crack in it. And
maybe
it's just
that might be
paint damage from the zip tie.
There's one on Reverb that's red for $370 plus $64 shipping.
So that's about the same price.
Yeah, that sounds like the going rate. I think you know what? Oh, they did the same thing on this red one. They did the zip tie.
Yeah.
And they also did the tuner the other way around to get the string straighter. It's a problem with the low E. The low E pulls off the nut or something like that. And so there's people trying to find fixes for them. I'd say don't buy one of these original ones. I'd say buy one of the U-bass style ones.
Right. Get something that's a little more of a
they've
modern interpretation.
I think they've ironed out the kinks.
That's what I mean. Why it's like kind of funny, because I call it a modern interpretation, but it's a modern interpretation on like a traditional, like a ukulele is like a traditional instrument.
But I think that's what makes it work too, is that like you show up on stage with a DeArmond Ashbory, and it's like, what is that? What's going on? Where you see someone step on stage with a U-bass, and if you're not familiar with musical instruments, you still recognize like, oh, there's a musical instrument. Like it works better for some reason. Steve is looking for his notes.
I swear the song that we're about to play that I played a few weeks ago.
You know, you and RJ
don't
did
know.
an ad that I swear you and I did
I mean, it's possible.
probably like 3 years ago. That Live Edge SG. I swear we did that together. We held hands and we covered that
I
advertisement.
don't think we've
together.
ever held hands and did any ad. The ads are done. It's too late.
It's always too late with you, Steve.
Yep, that's true. This is from Max Hibbs. He says this is a song titled Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. My band,
I like it already.
My band recorded that's going to be the lead single from our first EP. We're called White Rose Motel. We're a blend of punk, blues, and a little bit of surf. Rhythm was recorded on a Classic Vibe Jazz Master through an EQD Palisades. The lead was recorded on a Les Paul with P90s directly into an amp sim. I've definitely listened to this. There's no way I have not listened to this song, but I don't remember playing it. So we're going to play it again. Maybe. I don't know. Hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to hear this on the podcast. We're all huge fans. Max Hibbs from White Rose Motel.
Maybe we just played a different song from him.
Let's find out.
I'm so tired, I need caffeine for a headache, and I can't sleep. I've got these blunt wraps just to medicate. I'm never by myself, well that's because I'm scared of myself, or at the very least I just hate being alone. I just hate being alone. Why can't anyone talk me out of there? And why can't you fucking hear me out? And all the walls are caving and the ceiling's getting lower, and all I ever needed was a friend. Thousands of questions, no goddamn answers. Kicking myself in the teeth because it's just what I need. 'Cause I never said a word despite the stupid things you said. Well, that's 'cause I'm better than, yes, I'm better than you. Yes, I'm just better than you.
You know what that makes me miss?
What does that make you miss?
It makes me miss going to like Red Pony Clock shows.
Oh.
And it's kind of like, you know, like house shows, like those like kind of indie folky,
Yeah.
kind of indie pop sorts of shows.
Right.
Such a fun vibe.
You want to go over to what was that guy's name? The guy who had the house.
Yeah. Like those house shows.
Yeah, he was like a recording engineer and down in Golden Hill.
I can't remember his name either. But if you said it right now, it'd be, oh yeah, that guy. Good times. Good times. All right. Bye, everyone.
Stay grounded.